This is really hard to say. Vicki was not a good mother. I'm not saying she didn't love Danny. She loved Danny. He knew that his mother was drugged up. He one time asked me when he was about 10 years old, he said, why does Mama do the things that she does? And I didn't have the heart to tell him that she was on drugs. I said, baby, Mama wants to tell you this. You probably at 10 years old right now, you are probably older than Mama is right now because Mama has a lot of problems and she's not been able to face them. So you're probably more the man in the house and probably older than her right now today than she will ever be.
Well, we've been speaking with Anna Nicole's mother, Virgie, her aunt Elaine, and joining us now is her cousin, Gail. Welcome, Gail. You grew up with Anna Nicole, with Vicki.
Yes.
What was she like? Give us your insights.
She was a lot of fun. I mean, she was the jokester. We ran around, and I mean, she was always playing pranks. We had a really good time as kids.
And how do you understand the change in her? Because if we listen to Virgie and Elaine, we have a story that starts to come out, and the story is of a very nice young girl, a tomboy with a sense of humor,
right,
and a neighborhood kid,
right,
who then kind of loses herself and ends up in drugs and looking for wealth anywhere she can,
right,
and commandeering, if you take Virgie's word for it, the life of her son, so that he can't even be affectionate toward his grandmother.
That's true.
Why? Why did it happen?
I don't know. I guess her life was going so fast that she wasn't really thinking about anybody else. It was all about what she wanted, you know, and Daniel was hers, so.
And what she wanted or what she needed? Because you're her contemporary. What didn't she have that she desperately needed that she thought she could fill herself up with?
I don't know, because, I mean, we were always a close family, and then she just drifted away.
So we get a jury of three. Her mother, her aunt, and her dear friend and cousin. And let me just poll you. Your daughter, you think now is on drugs?
Yes. Yes.
Your niece is on drugs? Your cousin is on drugs?
Yes.
Have you tried to communicate with her, to reach out to her, to bring her back?
She doesn't speak to any of us. I mean, we have no, I have no way of contacting her, and I...
Do you, Virgie?
Yes, I try to talk to her. Have you ever tried to talk to a drunk?
Well, it's part of my job.
Okay.
So, you know, I've talked to a lot of people who are using alcohol.
Okay, then. Well, drugs are a whole lot like being drunk. You don't always get through to them.
And she just had a baby girl.
Yes, she did. A beautiful baby girl.
So did you see your granddaughter?
I saw her on TV.
You saw her on TV?
Mm-hmm.
What has created such a rift that you wouldn't visit with your granddaughter in person?
I'm not allowed to.
And now, of course, this rift grows larger because publicly you say a couple of things. One, you don't believe that your grandson Daniel took his own life.
He did not.
Therefore what? What happened?
I don't know. There's only 3 people in that room can tell you what happened. I don't know what happened.
Well, if he didn't, did he die of natural causes?
No. No.
Did he suicide?
No.
Well, what's left? You believe your grandson was murdered?
Yes, I do.
Elaine, you're listening to Virgie. She's describing a girl who grew up with you close at hand, your niece.
I do know that with the drugs that she does, that she would encourage, if you have a problem with this, take a pill.
Take a
her
pill.
solution.
So she may have been involved.
Yes.
Gail, I know it's been 14 years since you've seen this woman.
Right.
However, you know who she was and who she came to be.
Right.
Is it outside the realm of possibility that her mother has a theory that holds water?
It's possible.
And you see these headlines, was it murder? And you folks are sitting at home remembering Vicki, your Vicki, thinking, well, it could have been. What does that do to a mother?
It just breaks my heart. She's still my daughter, and I still love her very much. But drugs do horrible things to you.
Drugs do. How about love, Howard K. Stern?
I truly don't believe that's love, but...
Is that a drug?
Is love a drug?
Is he a drug?
Love is a drug, sure.
All right. We'll be right back.
Is your marriage in turmoil because your spouse is cheating on you? If infidelity is threatening to end your marriage, call 1-888-Dr. Keith.
Can give you for it. Devastation is not enough. My baby is laying in a cold room in a funeral home somewhere, and she's out getting married, having fun, showing our house off. Where's the grief? I hope it all comes out, because you'll never convince me, ever, that Daniel took his own life. You won't.
Getting married so soon after the death of her son. Well, today we're talking with Virgie, Anna Nicole Smith's mother, and her family, and we're now joined by Virgie's husband, James. I want you to fill me in on what seems like an unbelievable detail of this story. How did you inform your wife that she had lost the man she considers her baby, her grandson?
David contacted me while I was at work, so I knew that I needed to get home before it, aired on TV or anything to let Virgie know, because I did not want her to see it on TV.
And Elaine, had you seen it on TV?
No, I had someone that I work with, and he had called me. He works through the news, and he had called and he said, Elaine, do you know that Daniel passed away? And I just lost it. I was like, what? Are you sure? And he was, yeah.
And he had heard it through the media?
I believe, yeah.
Okay, and so then you tell your wife, and how did Virgie react?
She was in shock. She was just devastated. I mean,
And let's go through this story again, Virgie, because for the uninitiated, if there is anybody out there who's uninitiated, Howard K. Stern is your daughter's new husband. Is that right?
Yes.
And her attorney.
Yes.
And he claims to be the father of her baby girl, your granddaughter.
That's what he says.
Okay, and that's where I'm going. That's what he says, but what do you believe? Do you believe he's the father of your...
I don't.
Now, why don't you believe that? What do you think?
Howard's been around Vicki a long time. So if she was going to get pregnant by him, would have been probably a long time ago.
He's been her lawyer?
For quite a while.
Her boyfriend?
He's seen many men come and go with her.
And do you have a theory as to who would be the father?
I think that Larry Burkhead is the father.
Larry Burkhead, you're nodding, Elaine, is that right?
Yes.
I just want to say that I am the father of Danny Williams.
And you think so, too. It's interesting, the three of you who know her feel that Larry Burkhead, let's take a look at his photo, is the dad. Now, explain to me, Virgie, who is Larry Burkhead?
He's a paparazzi photographer.
Why do you think he'd be the father as opposed to Howard K. Stern?
Howard's been around her a long time. Howard has watched men come and go inside her bedroom.
Meaning he's been a fixture in her life, but there have been boyfriends coming and going.
Absolutely, yes.
What would his motivation be for saying he's the dad if he's not?
Oh, gosh, here we go.
Here we go. Well, let's not leave anything on the table. You think that your grandson was murdered. You think that your granddaughter is not the daughter of the man who says he's her father, Howard K. Stern. And what's his motivation in your mind?
Well, Vicki is supposedly going to inherit Howard Marshall's money.
Okay, so Vicki's going to inherit, you believe, if everything should go as it has been going of late, her ex-husband's money, because it went to the Supreme Court, this case, right?
Yes, it did.
Where she prevailed,
Yes.
that she should have the inheritance.
Yes.
And you think that he would want the money for his quote-unquote child and himself?
Sure. Wouldn't you?
Well, I'm doing okay right now, but, I'm not a billionaire, but I don't think I'd lie about a kid to get it. When you say that you think your grandson was murdered, it's such an intense thing to allege.
It's a heartbreaking thing to believe.
We'll be right back. We're back, and we're talking with Anna Nicole Smith's family about Anna Nicole Smith's life and the tragic loss of her grandson, Daniel. Okay. Now, one of the moments in Anna Nicole's life that everybody is familiar with is her weight loss. She sort of is fixed in our culture as somebody who had a dramatic weight loss, regained her fitness. We're not talking here about trim spa. We're talking about her weight loss in the past. Elaine, how in the past has she lost weight?
Well, one instance, I was with her. She had liposuction done in her hips. She had it done, and it was pretty, I mean, it really shocked me, and I'm a nurse, but there was a lot of blood. They had suctioned out quite a bit off of her hips.
So extensive liposuction. Does that seem correct, Virgie?
Oh, yeah.
Now, what's this? I heard that somebody called her a mummy. What set the scene for me?
The scene was, she called and said, Mom, I'm hurting. Can you come over? And I said, yes, I will. And I went over, and she was standing up, bless her heart. She was standing up, and she was wrapped what looked like ace bandages from here to her feet. And she would walk like this.
Which you have affectionately referred to as the mummy.
The mummy. I said, Sister, you look like a mummy.
But
you're scary looking.
And you understand what you're saying, Virgie, and why when she watches this show, she'll have a feeling about it, a strong feeling.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's get some questions.
First of all, I'd like to say may God continue to be with you through your healing
Pray for
process.
me, please, yes.
But I was just baffled at why it took 6 weeks to put this young man's body in the ground.
Good question.
Me too.
Thanks. Virgie, why do you think it took 6 weeks?
Wasn't in her time schedule.
Again, you say it's all about her every single time.
It's all about her.
Here's another allegation you've made, that your daughter has physically abused or beaten up boyfriends in the past. But is there any evidence of that?
They're not going to stand up and tell you that. No, none of them.
But you're saying God is your witness it happened.
I swear to God that it has happened.
Do you love her?
Yes, I do. She's my daughter.
You miss her?
Yes, I do.
You folks miss her?
Yes, we miss her.
All right, well, we've tried to reach out to Anna Nicole Smith and to Howard K. Stern over the last few weeks, but unfortunately, they haven't been available for comment. When we come back, Anna Nicole's mother makes one final plea to reach out to the girl she called Vicky. Stay with us. If your daughter were listening right now, Virgie, what would you tell her?
Vicki Lynn, please. You have a family, baby. We're all still here. We've always been here. We're still here for you. You don't have to have drugs. You got a beautiful baby girl now. You need to start life over. You need to be a great mom and live life now. You've gone through all your modeling and your acting career, and you're getting to be 40 years old now. It's time to be a loving mother.
So you say she's out of her mind?
She's on drugs, and when she's on drugs, she is a mean, evil person. When she is not on drugs, she is a good person. There's a big difference between the two.
Okay, what we hope is that Anna Nicole hears your plea. And I'd like her at least to respond to what you've said. I'd be happy to host a forum where you can share your thoughts and feelings with her. We could be that kind of a healing place. I don't know that she'll take us up on the offer, but we'll certainly make it here publicly. And of course, if she responds, we'll have you back, all of you, to try to reunite you and try to make sense of this. What you say is a mystery that's fueled by drugs. That your girl, Vicky, was stolen from you by drugs.
By drugs.
That's the long and short of it.
Yes,
and
it
that
is.
on drugs, she's evil and violent.
Yes.
All right, well, first of all, I want to thank all of you for coming on and sharing a very painful story with us. This is your private pain, and it's a family story and a story of loss. It's also a story of hope because you're still reaching out, Virgie. Well, again, we're sorry for the loss of your grandson. I'm also sorry for another loss you've suffered, and it sounds like that loss would be the loss so far of Vicky. Thanks for being here. We'll see you next time.